Hey guys, hope you're all well. Right, this weekend hasn't quite gone to plan. There's no other way of putting it. So I was all set to do the test ride on the GS. My daughter was coming over to help me with the filming so we could get some nice footage of it and not just me on board with a camera strapped to my chin and all that. But I had another little problem with it. I've had a couple of little problems with this actually over the last few days, but I think now I am definitely set for perhaps doing it tomorrow. The joys of bike building, people. You have to keep smiling or else you'll start crying. Anyway, first problem was, this was a couple of days ago. I was getting it all ready, just going over everything, just checking my brakes again. I've been actually looking at them each day and they've remained with their pressure, so that is good. The brakes are fine. And then for some unknown reason I hadn't checked my gear lever. It was stuck solid. Absolutely solid, and I mean solid, like welded solid. It felt like that. Oh god, obviously everything starts flying through your mind. Is this engine out? What's gone wrong? It wasn't like this before. This is obviously something I have done. So you try and think what you've done. So and anyway, hold on, we've been a mess in here. I'll explain why in a moment. So yeah, the gear lever was stuck solid. So on that, the shaft goes all the way through the engine, around to this side, and comes out and actually sits in a recess in this casing, somewhere around this area-ish. And on that shaft is a geared fork that sort of goes up and down like this on a gear to change gear. That had jumped out, the fork had dropped, I'd pushed it back in, obviously at some point without even thinking about it, and it wasn't on the gear. So it's trapped between the bottom casing of the engine and the gear, and in the middle of it there's a pin and a spring. So it all come, the bottom side of it all, and just completely trapped it in. So it just could not physically move at all. When I'd realised I'd done that, obviously it's quite time consuming. All the casings off again, sorting it all out, getting it all in the right place, building it all back together. So I was a bit fed up at that point. And it was totally my fault. So I can't really moan about it. You just got to get on with it. And then yesterday, my daughter came across, sort of afternoon time. It's a nice day. She took me up the fuel station to get some fuel. I was all set, ready to go. I thought, here we go. We've got gears, we've got brakes, wheels go round, bars turn, lights come on. We're ready. Put fuel in it. And I started checking around the bike. I was speaking to my daughter as she brought her dog over. The dogs were having a bit of fun, so I had a bit of time with them. Come back in and there was fuel on the floor. Oh no, here we go. What is this? So at that point I said to my daughter, look, if you need to go, there's no point hanging around. This could take me a while, and I don't want to feel pressured because she is here and I'm now soaking up her time. So I didn't want to feel no pressure. I said, if you wish to go, you know, get up along. So it was coming from round the tap area, and where the tap is on this bike, trying to look up, it's very difficult to see where the fuel was coming from. Fuel's quite searching, if you know what I mean. It can come from a tiny little pinhole and it just spreads, and it's very difficult to see where it's coming from. I thought, I just can't take no chances with this. I'm gonna have to take all the tank back off and get it on the bench and wipe it around with it tipped up where I can see it properly and see where it's coming from. Because obviously with that fuel tap, it's the old GS fuel tap, and I've fabricated the tank so it fits into this tank, the GSX tank. Right, I tested all my welds, surely they're not leaking, but always chance of it. There's always chance of it. And yeah, so it was seat off, back end off, seat off, tank off. It's quite a big job. It's a job that I didn't really want to do. There's nothing worse than having to mess with a bike that's all been painted and powdered and everything. It's just soul destroying sometimes, because there's that little bit more of a chance of marking it, scratching it, dinging it, and it is a nightmare. I think it is anyway. I just don't like it. So anyway, I got it all off. It's the seal, so I've had to sort that out. All I can think of, because it's been stood so long on the bench, the seal's sort of dried out, I don't know, deformed or whatever. So I've sorted it all out. I spent pretty much most of the day messing about with it, getting it all right, and got it back together quite late last night actually. By that time my morale had took a dive. It really had. It took a right dive, as you can imagine. We've all been through it, haven't we? But you just got to carry on. And today there was family commitments going on and all that, so I didn't test ride it today. In fact, it was probably a good thing for me to walk away from it for a day and just settle myself down, to be honest with you. And it's worked. I feel a lot better. I feel all right now. Yesterday I wasn't that good. Never mind. So it's quite late in the evening now, Sunday evening. Family things are out the way, and obviously the GS is sat there ready. All I gotta do is put the little side panel on, back on this side. So I had the fuel cap off and everything. It's just because I was siphoning the fuel back out, and it was easier to take the cap back off, because a couple of gallon of fuel went in it. I was having to get all that back out pronto. But hey, side panel back on tomorrow, and we'll get something sorted with a test ride. We'll get an MOT slot middle of the week this week, so fingers crossed it all starts going to plan. There's absolutely nothing else to go wrong, I don't think. I probably shouldn't have said that, should I? It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Everyone cross their fingers. But in the meantime, I'm doing what I call sort of relaxing work, switch off work, and the shed's in a right mess. So I'm here having a late Sunday evening in the shed, sorting everything out for tomorrow, so I can just walk in here, it's clean, and I can get on with it. As you can see, the lathe is back off its stand. The stand is there. I don't know if you remember me saying I was going to clad all this in wood, so ignore this terrible workmanship. They were just going to be my battens that I was bolting to the steel frame to clad all the sides in wood and make it into a cabinet. And then I went to our local DIY store and about fell over with the price of wood. I couldn't believe it. Everything's going through the roof, isn't it, price wise? It's unbelievable. All you tradesmen out there must be having a nightmare with your quotes and everything. So I came out the DIY shop with no wood, because I was a bit like, oh, I'm not spending that much on wood. I thought, oh, surely there's some knocking about somewhere that I can salvage. Right, moving forward, I was interrupted. This is now like an hour later. Oh, nothing ever goes smooth in here. There's things going on down the house and stuff, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I can't even remember where I was. Where was I? Yeah, was I moaning about the price of wood? Something like that, I don't know. Yeah, so I found some bits of wood about that would have been alright with a bit of time rubbing them down and stuff. But then I thought, oh, you know what, I'll have a sneaky look on the old internet for the proper base for it. And sure enough, there was one there that was actually cheaper on what the wood would have cost to sort of perhaps sort of bodgy, make this into a cabinet. So I went and got it, and I've slapped a bit of paint on it, and we're just sorting it all back out again. There we go. That's better, isn't it? So yeah, I sanded it all down. That took me a fair while last night. I was doing that late last night, and gave it a coat of paint, and gave it another coat of paint this morning before I went out doing the old family thing, and getting it all together now. The only thing I've got to go and do is get some more raw bolts for the floor. I've sort of got it levelled as best as I can, and then we do the fine tuning. You'll notice I haven't painted the tray because, you know what, it's fairly tidy-ish, and that's just going to go downhill very fast anyway. Well, not downhill, it's going to have its wear and tear very fast. So yeah, then you fine tune it with these adjusters here, and get it perfectly level. So the base is level as I can. I'm not going to level the lathe up till I've got it bolted down properly. So, but in the meantime, I'm going to get the lathe back on there, and so I'll just pop out tomorrow. In fact, I think I've got some somewhere. Basically, I'll drill through into the concrete, and the raw bolts will just knock straight through them holes and do up. So yeah, that is heavy, really heavy. I think they're about 84, 85 kilo. Don't know what that is in pounds. Is that 180 odd pounds? I don't know. What I might do, there's probably some people say, oh, you should paint the whole lathe, strip it down. I do not want to strip that lathe down. It's so nice, it runs so well. I don't want to disturb anything on it. So little bits like this, I'm actually just going to touch in. And I'll do it carefully. I'll make it look like semi-okay, and like little marks like this. I'm just going to touch them in. I really do not want to strip it down and paint it all properly, really. It's all original, so I'm going to leave it like that. But now, deep breaths, pop to the toilet first and all that. I'll lift this thing back on there. That's going to be fun. And I'll get it all sort of semi-level and then complete it when the cabinet's bolted down. The only thing missing off the cabinet, it's got a panel on the front here that wasn't with it. Probably that's why it come really, really cheap. But I can make a panel for there. I could probably just do without a panel there. I don't know. I'll probably do something. But at least I can get all the stuff away now that belongs to this, and probably a bit more in there actually. And it'll take a few bits from out the shed so I can get them in there. Right, now for the lift. And I've got to get some bits to sort the wiring out as well. I've got to sort all this properly, which I can sort that out, no problem. I think if I really thought about it, I should have done a hole, because that little on-off reverse switch goes there. I should have done a hole for the cable, shouldn't I? Oh well, that doesn't matter. I can drill that and touch it back in. We can sort that out. He'll get there. Right, now for lifting. I'm not going to enjoy this. Yeah, I'm too impatient to wait for somebody to come and help. I have no patience. Does somebody know the proper weight of these? I'm sure it's 80 odd kilo. I could be completely wrong. But it's heavy. Ridiculously heavy, to be honest. And you're probably all gonna like shout at me in the comments, you shouldn't be doing that on your own. In my previous job, the stuff that we used to lift was insane. Is that the dog at the door? Come on, Blue. I thought it was someone else to come stop me then. Blue's at the door. He coming in? Look at him. What's up, Bluey? You alright? Just come for a nose. I tell you what, come and help me lift this. Or do you? Oh, you want to get on your chair? Have I put all that on the chair? Have I? Let's move it. There we go. Oh, let's move that. There we are. Oh dear. Get in there then. Go on, up, 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 up. Come on, up. Come on, up, in. Come on, come on, in. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey? Right. Listen, I've got to lift this. I don't need to trip up you. You getting in your chair? In your bed? No? Oh, okay. Listen, I've got to carry on. Don't look at me like that. I need to carry on. Hello? Right. Where was I? It's a madhouse. That's my back creaking, really, not the door. Oh. Easy. At least get it to the edge. Right. Where do you hold this thing? Hold on, I better take my microphone off for a minute so I don't crush it. It's just an awkward shape. It's on there. Here we go, next stage, onto the straw. Oh no, don't do that. It's moving. Come back here. Right, Have a minute. We'll get there. This is the joys of working on your own. Blues ran off. Oh dear. Right, come on. Let's get the back lined up as well. What's going on there? That goes like that. This is where I squash my hand. Right, we're nearly there. Yes. Straight on. Awesome. Right, I'm just going to put my spine back in. Sorted. Oh, that looks good. Oh, I'm happy with that. Right. Get the bolts for the floor sorted out. Then we can level it all up properly. In the meantime, I'll spin the nuts on actually so I don't lose them in the clean up. And we'll get the shed ready for tomorrow. Right, I've just took the cover off the switch. Every wire's a red wire, but they've actually all marked out, and as you can see that, which is good. 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. But the earth is a bit dodgy. It's just been wound under the nut, so we'll put a proper eyelet on that, I think. And get that fitted to the side there. So yeah, I'm going to take all the wires off, mark the holes out, drill it and get it on. Okay, that's the switch on, all sorted. All I've got to do now is, like I say, bolt it down, get it all levelled up accurately, and then that's ready to go. Oh, I've got to put a feed in and a cross and a plug socket down there. I'll put a plug socket behind there, and it'll just plug in from behind the cabinet. That'll be that all sorted. And hopefully we're going to get this ran up and down the road tomorrow. Now I've sorted all that out. These things happen, I'm afraid. Sometimes they go really smoothly, and sometimes they can turn into massive disasters, and sometimes they'll just throw a few little problems at you just to keep you going. It's the way it is. Anyway, it's getting really late now, and I've got to try and tidy this place up. It's still a mess, as you can see. I've got to try and tidy all that up so I can walk straight in here tomorrow and carry on with something. And it's already late. What time is it? It's trip time. Oh, bang on 11 o'clock at night. I'd be glad to have a normal day. I really would. I'd be glad to have a normal day and like some weekends off. Proper full weekends off. I'll get there. I'll get there. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this is the old lathe is on eBay. I started at 99p and it's receiving quite a few bids. And also, I have relisted that because that seemed to have all went to pot. So I've just relisted it. Some people are asking me the bar, the pressure PSI. I honestly don't know. I've looked all over the compressor. There's nothing on it. Nothing that's giving me that information. So I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry, but I'll check online, see if I can find some information on it. I don't know, but there's nothing on the compressor that's giving me that information. It's got the BAR, the bar on that panel, but someone seems to have forgot to fill that bit out. So it's a question I can't answer at the moment, I'm afraid. Anyway, it's back on eBay. Hopefully it'll just go this time. I don't know, it's sort of in my way. Anyway, I'm gonna go, it's late, I've got to clean up. I want to get some sleep before I start tomorrow. Cheers for watching, guys, take care.